What is up? Welcome back to Clear Talk. I'm your host, Artman Shafi, and this is my co-host,
Jeanette Oduro.
And this is the #1 show for coaches that want to go high ticket and scale their business and need clarity in doing that. Now, the big question is, how do coaches like us, who started with nothing and risked everything on the line to build a business around helping other people change their lives, how do we go out there and get our message across in the marketplace, get clients consistently, all while making a big difference in the world? That is the big question, and this show will give you the answer. Welcome back. We go live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time inside of the High Ticket Coaching Community Facebook group. Now, if you're on YouTube right now and you like free content on scaling your business, breaking that 30K, 10K, 20K ceiling in your business so you can scale to 100 grand a month, that's exactly what the show's about. We answer questions that you give us. All you got to do is go to askarmin.com and submit your question there, and we will answer your questions live on the show. And if you want to join us live inside of the Facebook group as well, make sure you join our Facebook group, which is highticketcoaching.com, highticketcoachingcommunity.com.
There you go.
If you join our group, then you can be a part of it live, and we answer your live questions as well. But if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell if you want to get weekly notifications on us releasing new videos. And we release lots of new videos every week. So we love you so much for tuning in. If you're in right now and you're inside of our Facebook Live, then comment down below where you're tuning in from and what are you most excited about this week in your business. Excited to read the comments afterwards. Jay?
Hey!
Hey, Jay. You got questions today?
We do have questions. You excited?
I am. I haven't been in the studio for a while.
I know. We have not been.
We've been doing lives. Well, last 2 weeks was online.
Yeah, 3 weeks maybe. 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. And then 1 week we didn't end up going live. So it's been a while since we've been here on the set. Did you guys miss the set?
Let us know. All right, so.
All right, you ready to hop into the questiones?
Yeah, anyone saying hi?
We do have some highs. Okay, so Josh said live, y'all rock. Yes, Josh, we are here live together.
And I have scissors, I don't rock, thank you.
We got Jordan who says he's tuning in from Kitchener, Ontario. Hello, hello, Kitchener. And Lauren is very excited. We're excited too.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay, let's get it. Okay, so question number 1. One of my clients was extremely disrespectful to one of my team members. I spoke to them about it and they said it wouldn't happen again, but the animosity seems to still be here. Any suggestions on what to do? That question is from Sierra T.
You need a Lauren. Who owns a pair of black gloves.
That's an inside joke.
Is director of copywriting and organic marketing by day. And the Lauren at night. Put on her little gloves.
I can't believe you said that.
Shows up to the house.
Oh my goodness. People are going to be scared of Lauren now.
We're kidding now, man. We're kidding. She's a sweetheart. She's like a puppy, you know. She loves puppies too. That's the best part.
I can't believe you said that. Oh, I'm dying.
Thought some humor would be a good start to the show. So someone was extremely disrespectful
to a team member.
Yeah. And there's animosity now.
Yeah.
Why did you let that person in the first place?
Wow. Serious.
Do we have any bad people on our program?
No.
Not one.
But
we've had.
But
I learned from my mistake.
Yes.
And we've kicked out people.
Yes.
I refund their money. We have no refund policies in our program. And it's a lot of money, and it's not easy to refund, money. It doesn't matter how much you make. You never want to see that much money come and go, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But, that's never worth the cost of them staying.
Yeah.
So, and we've had maybe, 2 or 3 people we've had to kick out of the program. I declined
No more than 3.
Yeah, just 3. It comes to the top of my mind. It's because of their attitude. They were just not a good person. And look, they might have to put that money into a personal development program instead of a business program, at least for us.
Absolutely.
If you're in the personal development space, don't make excuses. That's why they're there.
Yeah.
You have to challenge them as a coach. Like, hey,
100%.
this is not okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Why'd you do this? What's the cause of it? Because if you don't know how to change that in them, then what are they there for?
Exactly.
But we're in a marketing program. Like, we're showing coaches how to grow their business. So
Yeah.
I didn't sign up to deal with baggage with you guys. I still handle it in our first module, but that's not the purpose of the program.
Yeah.
So we've had this before. Remember that one guy?
We have had some. Yeah.
Man, this one guy.
Actually,
Let me tell you something. First of all, the answer is this, so you don't have to listen to the story if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Here's the answer, okay? You address it professionally, and then you give them an ultimatum. You either move forward being more kind to the people that are helping you here, or you leave the program because we don't tolerate this.
Yeah.
You have to set the standard of what you tolerate and what you don't. And also remember this. You teach your clients how to treat you and your team. You teach your clients how to treat you and your team.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. So if they're being a certain way, it's because either they're one modeling you and your team's way of being, or it's because they think it's okay. It's okay. That's your fault as a leader. So that never happens with our team. Even if someone has an issue, which literally we never do, they bring it up in person with over a one-on-one with one of us because they understand respectfully. Like, it's just about that. But we've never. Have you ever had someone be disrespectful to you on your accountability calls?
No.
Never. Now, there's this one guy. Now, the real answer is this, by the way. If they got in somehow, give him an ultimatum. Hey, it's either you move on and this never happens again, or you don't.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Because we don't need your money. If you stand, by the way, that's very empowering to be in that position. Like, I don't need your money.
Yeah.
I want to help you.
Yeah.
But if you can't be helped, I have nothing to do with this. You can take your money back. You know. Now, don't get in the terrible situation where you're trying to keep the money and you want to kick them out. You're going to create bad tension. Okay.
100%. Yeah.
Don't ever prioritize money over peace of mind. Never. But let's talk about not letting them in. I know we lose money in my company. I know we leave money on the table because we don't take some type of clients.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah. There's people that get on the calls that are willing to throw thousands of dollars just to get started at us. And when I hear the phone call or I talk to them for 2 minutes and I get on one of my calls with one of our advisors, I hear it and I'm like, this is not our person.
Yeah.
Like, they're willing to pay us, but their attitude coming in, their expectations and their viewpoint on things, I'm like, whoa, no. I'm gonna spend more time trying to change how you are instead of showing you how to get clients and grow your business. And that's the problem. That's also why they're struggling. Most of the time it's because of that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not willing to risk the peace of mind of my team and myself and my community. Like, this person's in your community now. They're inside your private group. They can message all your clients. Our clients message each other and they're all friends. Yeah. So imagine one of them had the ability to message everyone and they're not a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to ruin the culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Who knows what kind of damage they're making that you don't even see.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've been in programs where the leaders give off really, really bad personality and vibes and create a really hostile environment. Yeah. And I've seen the side effects of it in their students and their clients without their noticing because I've been a part of the group of clients. And it's just bad, man. There's a lot of aftermath cost to you thinking it's okay to have a hostile environment or letting hostile people in your program that create issues. Yeah. There's a lot of aftermath cost. And I've seen hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales that could have been made, like upsells, clients leave people's programs because of that issue. So it always starts with you, number one. Number two, you have to set the standard of teaching your clients how they can treat you. You have to. Like, again, this is a respect thing as well. I think you should do this in life with everybody. Yeah. And not just clients. Third thing is this: don't let them in the first place. You will never have this issue. You might make a little less money, and we do. There is probably an easy 50 to 100 grand in the last 90 days that we left on the table because we just didn't want people. Like, hey, no, I'm not in a rush to make millions of dollars. Like, I'm not in a rush to hit figures that I would rather sell myself out on peace of mind and my own values and take on clients I know I don't like. And it's nothing against them personally. It's just we don't match. It's like you put oil and vinegar, water and vinegar, whatever, in the same cup, they'll separate. It's just sometimes you meet people and you're like, we don't match. Like, it's not safe for us to work together. Yeah. So we had this one guy once, and he bought our program.
Story time.
And this guy's been in a high-ticket coaching community. We kicked him out. Yeah. I think he's blocked. I blocked him. I want nothing to do with people like this. Yeah. I don't. Okay. Life and energy is too good to let people ruin it. And he bought our program, and he paid the lowest payment as well. So this something to keep in mind, eh? The people who take the lowest payment option that are so much financial struggle, they usually come in as problem clients as well. You know, it's not their fault. It's because they have a lot of stress. There's a reason why they're taking that option because of the way they think and the way they are.
Yeah.
Again, that's not the program I'm trying to teach. And even though we develop leadership in our program, I'd rather not take on a case study of someone who literally needs their life transformed, like their personality transformed, and they think they need business help because then they're not coachable. And I have to kick people out like that. I'm like, you think your business is your problem, but you're the problem. And because you paid me to get business coaching and not personal coaching, you'll never accept my personal coaching.
Yep.
Like, you need that to make your business work. So I'm like, there's no way we can win with this.
Exactly.
Because if I give them what they need to hear, they'll be defensive.
100%.
And if I give them the business stuff, it's useless because they're the problem. So I'm like, I don't feel good taking your money. Here, take it back. Go get on my program. Because I'm like, someone else, maybe when you're ready, when you're open, we'll change this. Yeah. So I had this one guy, and this happened like, again, only 3 times. One of them I remember. I didn't even let in the program.
Yeah.
So I don't remember. I don't care. Guy pays the lowest payment, and this guy's a fan. He's like, I've been in your group for so long, man. I love your stuff. Da da da. Like, I'm like, yeah, sure. Comes in, and like 2 weeks after paying us, or 1 week after paying us, he's like, I want a refund. I'm like, sure. Like, sure. Book a time with Jay, and all we do is we ask why, so we can get our feedback.
Yep.
And the only thing is, we're coaches, right? So we're trying to keep people accountable. If I see someone paid and they came in and they did nothing, we don't let that happen. We don't say, yeah, here's your money back, leave, because now you're taking the bad habit with you. Yeah. So because we care about you, we'll be like, no, you don't get your money until you finish something. Mm-hmm. So if you want a refund after you've done the work and you've seen the value of this program, then we'll give it to you. If then you still think this is not worth it, we'll give it to you. I don't care. Yeah. I don't need to convince you. I know my program's good. I don't need your opinion about it. Mm-hmm. So we go and we find out this guy did nothing, right? So she goes on the call with him. Yep. Why don't you explain to them like how the call was?
So I want to say I remember. I don't remember all of it, but we get on the call. You know, standard procedure. I'm like, hey, you know, how's it going? I heard that you wanted a refund. Let's just talk a little bit about that. You know, why is that the case? How much of the work have you done? Obviously, you've seen our user agreement. You signed it when you got involved in the program, so you're familiar with, you know, our actual, let's say, what's the word I'm thinking of? Policy, yes. So I'm just having a regular conversation, you know, my regular tone, and he's starting to get really defensive. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm just here to help. I'm just here to get information. You know, it's my responsibility to understand, you know, your situation, what you're going through, and why we're at this particular moment in time. So I'm gonna be asking you, you know, a series of questions. So, you know, this is totally regular procedure. And he starts to come back to me saying that I'm trying to run him through sales loops, and I'm trying to convince him or coerce him. I'm like, listen, like, this is not that conversation. You said you wanted your money back, and that's fine. But we have a system in place, and it's my responsibility to follow the system, right? That's my only job here, is to follow the system that I have in place, and for us to work together on a solution and getting there. And it was just like, bumping heads. By the way, you know when usually people make it sound better for them and exaggerate the other person? This is actually what the call sounds like. She sounds like this. I listened to the recording, and she sounds this nice. It's not like she's making it sound like she was not being defensive. She was like, okay, well, I'm just here to help. So, like, she sounded like that. And this guy was, like, going off. Yeah, he was obviously very aggravated. And, like, I've dealt with aggravated clients before. It's not a big deal, right? You just gotta have them come to your level and continue the conversation. But it was like nothing that I said.
No, what's the line that he crossed? Because when I heard this, I never do this, but I called the guy personally.
Oh my goodness. Was it the...
What did he do that I'm like, what? What do you mean he did that? Because I'm like, hey, how'd it go with him? She's like, well,
I can't remember. What did he do?
It's not something he said. He did something. Man, he swore at her. He starts swearing on the phone.
I don't even remember.
He starts swearing on the phone. It was F this, F this. You guys are like, you effing wasting my time. I'm like, he was swearing at you on the phone. She goes, well, no, not swearing at me. She's just swearing in general. I'm like,
the situation.
But the fact that he's swearing?
Yes. It's coming back to me.
I was so shocked.
Armin was actually more angry than me.
I looked at her. I'm like, hold on, no, you're joking. I'm like, no, are you serious? He goes, yeah. I was confused because this guy seemed like such a nice guy.
Yeah. He was.
I'm like, we're not keeping his money. I want this guy 20 feet pull away from us. I don't want him coming anywhere near my community.
Aww.
By the way, for all my clients watching.
I remember that. Arvin was actually very. It's like, can't talk to you like that. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's like, let it go. I'm like,
it's okay.
I teach her to let things go because she's the. And I'm like, no, this
I'm like,
one.
It's okay. He's like, no.
There's a principle behind this one. Yeah. There's
You're
two
so
things.
right.
Two things have to be taught here. One,
yeah.
she has to see, like, obviously I have her back. This matters, right? Like my team should know. I would never let someone do that. That's not right. And the second is he needs to be taught a lesson because he's gonna take that shitty attitude he had somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I message him. I'm like, hey man, I was totally nice. I'm like, hey man, I just need a few things. I need to confirm a few things before I give you a refund out. Like, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. So I neutralize him. I'm like, it's no big deal. We'll give your money back. We don't need it. I'm like, can you hop on a call? He's like, yeah, sure. Get on the phone. This guy's super nice to me. And this is what really bothered me. Is she my minion? Is she not another human being like me? It's funny. I was listening to an audio in the morning.
Yeah.
And saying, people treat you based on your position, eh?
Yeah.
I was listening to Miles Monroe. He goes, people treat you on your position.
Yeah.
It's like a director shows up to a hotel. They gave him a styrofoam cup, coffee in it. They picked him up from the airport. They walked him to his room. The next morning, someone was there with a schedule to help him and guide him. He goes, a year later, he comes back, but he's not a director this time. And when he asked for coffee, they pointed at the coffee machine. So he picked it up in, what's the other thing cup? The white ones. Is that styrofoam?
That is styrofoam.
There's another type of fancy cup he got last time.
Okay.
So he gets in a styrofoam cup, makes his own coffee. He shows up, no one pays attention to him, and he realizes something. The coffee wasn't for him. It was for them. People do it based on their own motivations because of your position.
Yeah.
It's bothered me.
Yeah.
Like we don't treat any client differently. Everyone treat like a millionaire in my program. I speak to everyone as if I would be running at the same momentum as them. I don't think some are idiots, some are not. I don't discriminate, This guy talks to me really nicely because I'm Armin. So he's thinking, oh, it's Armin. It should be nice. But let me treat this person that's just as important as me in this business like crap. As if she's some receptionist. And even receptionists are good too. I don't even want to give that as an example, but as if she's some call center person I've hired. That means meaningless to me or him, and he could just take a shit on her. So I'm like, hey man, I literally called him. I was like, obviously heated. I'm more self-controlled than he is. So I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? And he goes, well, and he was like really calm about it. He's like, I paid this money, and I came in. The first video I saw was low quality. He's talking about the Zoom recording video I put up as a bonus in the bonus lesson, so he didn't even get to my actual training. Okay. And by the way, other clients rave about that module, which is module 0.
Yeah.
Right? It's a seminar I did online, and I gave the recording of Zoom. It's the only recording we have. He goes, so I was thinking the quality's really low, and for the same amount of money, I could pay other people like the big guys, like Tony and Dean and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was all professional. I'm like, did you buy my program for the quality of video or for the result? Now, some of you need to hear this because sometimes you as coaches, you get pushed around by bad clients like this.
Yeah.
Because you believe the guy will go, no,
yeah.
I have to go redo my module. No. Remember why the person buys. They have a problem, you want to solve it. Mm-hmm. They didn't pay you for how you do that. They paid you for getting it and the result. Yeah. So I'm like, did you pay for that? He's like, well, no, but I'm just saying. I'm like, yeah, that's just one. I just listened to him. I didn't interrupt him. I'm like, okay, did you pay for that? He goes, no, obviously the result. I'm like, okay, well, what else happened? Tell me. Like, why did this all come this way? Mm-hmm. And he starts talking to me, and he's complaining. He's blaming us for why he's justifying why he treated her like that and why he's refunding, right? So I listen to all of it. It's like, it's this. And then I realize, I'm like, you're not as big as Tony Robbins. I'm like, no shit, no one is. Right? But doesn't mean we can't help you, right? And Tony's not going to work with you in a group like I am,
exactly.
Okay? So you're paying for a course. Obviously, the other person, I'm like, go do it. I mean, you bought courses in the past. I remember the sales call. You bought courses in the past. They did shit all for you. You're here justifying it, and you agree with me. Now you're here defending that you wanted a course instead. I'm like, do you not understand your own bad habit? Yeah. Like, you're not going to get results out of paying that person money because that person doesn't know who you are. I know who I'm talking to myself. Anyways, I sound like that's courses, coaching. I was trying to help him understand some things, but that wasn't why I called. I called to teach him a lesson. I'm just listening because I know it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
All of it's bull. And he says he blames my program and me and blah, blah, blah. And at the end, I'm like, okay, no problem. I didn't even fight him that much. I just a little there and there. I was correcting him. I'm like, off the bat, I just want you to know something. I'm like, so that's my program, but like, why'd you really quit? And you know what he said to me? And this is where the truth came out. I had 2 clients, and they're asking for a refund. I don't have the money to pay them. So I need the money back. And I'm like, you could have just said that and been honest from the start. Instead of trying to make me and my program and my people feel like crap and sound like we're not good enough. I'm like, because I don't believe you. I stood my ground with them. So I don't usually do this, but I directly opposed him so he can be taught a lesson. And he just went quiet. I'm like, you think it's okay just because you have a bad situation to make other people's lives bad? I mean, maybe there's a reason they're asking for a refund. You should probably look into the mirror about how you handle things. But you're just quiet, eh? I'm like, let me ask you a question. My quality of video is bad, sure, the one video you saw. I'm not as big as Tony Robbins. We're not good enough, we're crap, right? I'm like, how did any of that give you the right to speak to my team the way you did? He's like, he's just like breathing. I'm like, I listened to your recording, you can't lie to me. I know what you sounded like. What makes you think it's okay to talk to Jeanette that way? Was Jeanette your servant? I'm like, you must be a little delusional. There's no person serves you for you to treat them this way. Does she owe you something? That you talk to her like she's your bitch? And I said that on the phone. That you talk to her like she's your bitch. I'm like, you're in no position to help other people in coaching. I'm being honest with you. You can do whatever you want. But a person who speaks to someone else like this, for any given reason, I don't care how bad your life is, doesn't give you the right to treat other people poorly. I personally don't want you as a client. I don't think you're ready to be one. He's just quiet, eh? He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah, your apology's fine. I'll give your money back. I don't want your money. And everything you said about my program is complete bull. You know that. If you really wanted the help, you get the help. But you justified all this because you're in a bad situation. You got scared. You had a shitty situation. Your clients want their money back, and you start treating everyone else and blaming. I'm like, that shows me the kind of person you are. You have a lot to learn about how to handle things in life. That's funny because this guy's like 2-3 times my age, eh?
Yeah.
I constantly get reminded that age has nothing to do with maturity. It's crazy to me. Like, I constantly get reminded, like, wisdom has nothing to do. Yeah, nothing to do with you. I don't care how old you are. I respect you based on your character. This guy's really quiet, right? And I'm like staring out my window in my old office. I was so calmly aggressive. Like my tone, I think, cut a shard through his heart. My tone was like, nobody should be allowed to speak to someone like this. Not just my team, but anyone. I'm like, I'm shocked. I thought you were better than this. I was like putting him on the stand. At the end of it, I'm like, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm like, here's what you're gonna do. I gave him an ultimatum, man. I'm like, here's what you're gonna do. I'm gonna give your money back. You're gonna call Jeanette back, and you're gonna apologize to her because of the way you spoke to her, and you're gonna own and take responsibility that she did nothing to deserve the way you talked to her. He's like, okay.
I almost forgot this all happened.
And I'm like, and I'm gonna remove you from my group.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you again, man. I'm not your coach, not now, not ever. Find someone else, and I hope you do great with that course you're gonna buy. He's like, okay, I understand. Thank you. I'm like, yeah, your money will be back in your account in 3 days. I just hung up. He called you?
He did.
What'd he say?
He did apologize. Basically, he said, like, you like, I spoke to Armin, and, he was right. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way. I had a lot of things going on, and I took it out on you, etc. I was like, it's okay. Thank you for the call. All right.
Now, you guys don't understand. I forgave him off the bat because I knew hurt people, right?
Yeah.
I didn't take it personally.
Yeah.
But that was an opportunity to teach a lesson to everybody.
Definitely.
So she understands, she shouldn't even let that happen, obviously. But she was being the best version of her. She saw how I handled it. That guy saw how I handled it.
I don't think we've had another moment since.
Yeah. No, never. No.
That's
the only person I've ever declined to that level.
Yes, 100%.
Who just came in. Then we've had other people who came in and stayed for months, But they just were so in denial, so uncoachable, and I'm like, listen, I can't do this. I don't like get out. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it's a guys. It's a problem when you see their name show up in the Zoom attendees on your coaching calls, and you get a cringe. Like, there's a problem with that.
Yeah.
It's a problem that I get on a group call and I'm like, who asked questions this for today? And I hear their name and it bothers me. Like that, I don't care how much money you pay.
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing can afford that. That feeling I can never have.
Yeah.
I get rid of people like this. And you're like, Armin, that's a little cold. It's a cold world. If you don't keep yourself warm, you'll get frostbite. If you aren't willing to make boundaries, then just be okay with being pushed around and getting what you're dealt, not choosing what you want. I choose what I want. I choose the kind of community I want. I choose the kind of culture I want.
Yeah.
And by the way, when I see good people acting badly, I'll also step in. Like, man, you're not like this. What's going on?
Yeah.
And we have that every now and then. Life gets hard. They get on a call. They want to blame something. And I'm like, dude, this is a part of the journey. What do you think? I got here and it was all smooth sailing? No, I just always chose to keep going. I chose to see the positive. Mm-hmm. But when I see a person's complete genetics and their personality is like wired to be this negative person, first of all, I always go back to the sales rep, the advisor that sold them. I'm like, what were you thinking? There are some people I kicked out that I went back to someone that used to sell for us. I'm like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And I refunded that person, but I let the person keep the commission because I'm not gonna. What am I gonna refund? Get your commission back or whatever? It's all small things to me. I'm like, screw it. But I'm like, you understand? You costed me more money than your commission. This person came, cross trouble left. I'm like, don't sell people that are not a fit. You guys have underestimated this stuff. Like, you're so busy and focused on trying to make money and get clients that you forget to qualify those clients. It's a real thing. Like, be okay with making less money because of that. Or be okay with making more money and having no peace of mind, having stress in your business. If that's how you prioritize things, I'm worried about your future. Yeah. It's a good question.
Great question. Whew. Question number two. So,
What do we got saying in the comments, though?
oh yeah, we do have some comments. Let me go back.
1 second.
Keep going there.
Thank you. So,
Go ahead.
wow, these guys are Okay, so Jordan says, whoa, that was deep. It is not for you, it is for them. He also said, powerful tone, so powerful. Lauren hashtag, or not hashtag, but quoted, I was so calmly aggressive. And rest of the guys are just tagging people in the comments. So if you are tuning in, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Question number 2. I have a client who still owes me money for her one-to-one done-for-you service. She signed my contract.
Of course they do.
She said... She signed my contract. I've already tried taking legal action, but what should I do? She's no longer responding to my messages.
Let go and think about getting the next client. You're wasting more money trying to get your money back than if you just went out and closed more clients. Let go, man. I can give you like what to do and stuff, but like my wisdom has grown. Just let it go and move on.
Yeah.
Pretend it never happened. Just gain experience. You got a little bit of money from them.
Yeah.
Maybe, and just move on. I have a client right now still owes me like, we have elite clients, so 25 grand. Someone still owes me 2/3 of that. I haven't heard from her in like months.
Yeah.
You think I care? No. Because I went out and closed 7 more clients that way. That was way more easier to do than trying to figure out where this person is, what they did.
Yeah.
And like I gave like 100 hours of one-on-one time to them. I calculated. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because she was a friend too. So as a friend, I'm like, let me go the extra mile more even because I want to help this person. They had really hard to work with attitude. Personality was super uncoachable. And same problem. She came for business coaching, but she was the problem. And so I had no right to give her personal coaching. But that was the cause. And so all the business coaching went to waste because she would do everything I said. No matter every step we took and any progress we made, she would only see the bad side to things. Eventually, I was getting drained myself coaching her. I'm like, man, it's a bad idea. And it's the worst part was
the team as
the
well.
team.
The team
This
as
is
well.
how bad it got.
The team as
My
well.
team looked at me
Let's
and
talk
said,
about the team.
"We're willing to pay the difference of what she hasn't paid you to just get rid of her." Like, you got to be a really bad client for a team to be like, "We'll take the hit of what she's supposed to pay you to continue and just tell her to cancel.
Very stressful.
I'm like, keep your money. I want your money. Holy crap. Like, I'm like, after I heard that, I'm like, this is a problem. And it's funny because it's like, I actually messaged the client and I said, hey, we need to talk. Call me. She didn't respond to it. And that was 3 months ago. And if she had called me, I was going to do probably a second version of like, why do you talk? Because my team was telling me. She talks to us like she pushes, like she talks to us in a condescending tone. Like she just demands things. I'm like, what she think? Because she paid us a lot of money, she has that right? I'm like, oh hell no. I'm like, I handled one of these before. But the difference is that guy was in a bad situation. She's not. She just had a bad ego. So I was like prepared to get on the phone and teach her a lesson. And then give her back her money and be like, get out of here. I don't like, and she's a friend. That's the crazy part. I didn't expect that from her. That's the worst thing.
Yeah.
I thought she'd be like cool, like the way she is as a friend. But in business, she's like a tornado. And I'm like, this is a bad idea. I took you on. I actually apologized to her in one of the client sessions. I'm like, this is my fault that I took you on this way.
Yeah.
Because she's blaming her situation is tough. I'm like, no. I'm like, it's my fault. Let me take responsibility. I shouldn't have sold you this. I'm sorry. She goes, no, I understand. And we still continue. I'm like, let's keep going. Because we got her like dozens of book calls within the first month. Like everything was great, but she didn't have the attitude of a leader necessary to keep going. Even though things got hard or like she was new, she just let fear take her. So I was like, yeah, I was prepared, like giving her even the 1/3 of the money she paid me back. Mm-hmm. And my team was like, I don't want to work with her. And it's funny because she would get on my calls and complain about my team. I'm like, that doesn't sound like them. What are you talking about? Because projection and reflection, right? Mm. The way you are, you project onto others. So she's a hard to deal with client, so she thinks everyone's hard to deal with her. Isn't that crazy?
Crazy.
I'm like, my team is the most sweetest, most easygoing people I've ever met. You're the only person in history of our company telling us that they made it hard for you. What? I'm like, you're delusional.
Wow.
Like, you're projecting your difficulty because she thinks everything's difficult, so she puts it on them. So now she's like, they're difficult. And then her reflection is this. She gets crappy results in her business because she has crappy results inside. She treats everything crappy. What are you going to do? I've learned, let it go, move on to the next. Get a new client. Don't care. It's way easier getting a new client than try to revive or get back the old one. It's easier to give birth than to raise the dead, right? Raising the dead is actually impossible if you think about it. But you can definitely have a baby. Yeah.
That was a serious analogy. Wow.
It's true.
But
yeah. And don't take legal action. We did that with one person. And it's funny because I'm in another program and I saw the guy show up and I know that program is like 10 grand and it's way more than what he owes us and so he didn't pay us. So I'm like, and we sent him a legal letter, like we signed up for that. I'm like, why? Why do all this? If they're going to be a piece of shit, let them be a piece of shit. It's their destiny.
Yeah.
You just choose not to be. Because being just as much of a piece of shit, trying to chase them and hurt them back because they're hurting you.
100%.
Like, there's more cost to the impression you make on yourself by chasing them in a bad way than if you just moved on. Like, you'll make more money just thinking, I don't do this, and then continue. And like, you're just always going to be in my memories as the person who did that. If they're okay with that, then that's their legacy.
Yeah.
That's their life. Let them live their life. And stop thinking about what you lost. I lost the money. No, you didn't. You got a client, you learned a lesson. That's $1 million lesson. You should only have one bad client in your whole life. Because after that, you get the point. Yep. Right? You should only make one mistake and get the point. I'm so grateful, actually, for her. Yeah. I got paid way more than what I should be, than what she owed me. 100%. Because I made a whole lesson video in my training program about perfect versus problem clients thanks to her. Yep. Like, I'm about to save so many coaches' lives.
There was a lot of teaching.
I'm going to save so many coaches' lives in my program because I'm going to show them the differences of what to look for. Yep. And it wouldn't have been possible unless she worked with me. So I'm grateful for her. I have a whole lesson on problem clients. I didn't even know they exist until I looked them up because of her. I'm like, whoa, there's a thing called problem clients that you can avoid. And 100%. here's the tendency that I was reading it. And I'm like, this is everything she was doing. Crazy. Like, delaying payments. She was delaying payments for me. Always complaining. Was hard to deal with. Was hard to communicate with. Like get a hold of. Like, I would message her. She wouldn't message me back for, like, days. I'm like, yo, this is a problem client. That's crazy. Yep. So, yeah, just move on. Like, don't hold on to the dead, you know.
The only thing that I would add is that this likely does not begin and end with you, right? You are not the first person who they're treating this way, and you're probably most likely not going to be the last, right? So don't take on that person's issues as
Don't
your
be
own.
their savior.
Yeah, like
Not your job.
you cannot, that's really the key, right? You can't be the person who's going to save them all the time, right? As much as you can take the opportunity to teach them something, to try to leave them better than you found them, all of those things are true, obviously. Let them know how they should treat you, how they should treat your team, etc. But 9 times out of 10, this is not their first rodeo. It's not going to be their last. They have a pattern of doing this in other places. They may have even told you about it on a sales call, that they have a pattern of doing this
You gotta be careful.
In other situations.
That's a big thing. On sales calls, when you're closing a client, listen to what their past experiences and how they dealt with that.
100%.
If they dealt with it in a bad way, that they're going to deal with you in a bad way.
Yeah.
But don't be foolish and think, well, I'm going to be different.
I'm different.
They're not gonna have that
I'm
way.
the coach that's gonna.
No.
I'm the coach that's gonna fix them. I'm the coach that's gonna save them.
No, they're the problem. Do you not get that?
Exactly.
Even if the last coach was bad, they're still the problem. Because I've seen people, good people, turn bad coaches in coaching programs into something good for themselves.
Absolutely.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm not the problem. But I know coaches are bad. I've had bad coaches. I'm like, man, this is bad. But I'm like, I got what I needed from it and I left. So you'll never hear me complaining about another program.
Yeah.
Like on a sales call, I'll never. When I buy something, I'm just thinking forward. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. They'll never know that I've been on calls where people completely disregard my respect for me or they coach me in a condescending way.
They'll never know they called you names, etc., etc. They'll never know that.
So I'm not the problem. So don't try to be their savior, you know.
Definitely.
I'm like here for those things. These are red flags, man. I should have known better. And when I was listening to her, because she was a friend, I'm like, this is just a friend. So maybe I can fix this.
Yeah.
She's like, I paid this much money to all these people. No one got me results.
Nobody got me results. Nothing worked.
Now here's the worst part. She was actually right. When I looked at what they did with her, it was crap.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the worst case, the bad, I got blindsided because I'm like, well, obviously what they were doing for you wouldn't make you money.
Yeah.
I'm like, none of this works. I'm like, here's what it should look like. And I showed her my system. She goes, I need this. So I'm like, as a friend, I'll help you out.
Yeah.
And I overpromised and all these things because this is my intro. I'm like, look, I'm gonna help you. We're gonna do this. I didn't know she was the type of person to pick at those details. So like 60 days later, she's like, wait, you said exactly this that day. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Like, that's so crappy. Now here's the thing, and I'm getting a little personal, but just to teach you guys a lesson watching. This person's life is this way because what I know is she had a terrible, terrible love life too. Same reasons why she couldn't get coaching. Same reason. I'll never tell her that. I was tempted to though if she called me back.
What do you think?
I was gonna be there and be like, "This is why you can't keep him in." I'm just. It's true. Like someone needs to tell her. And I feel bad because she was a friend. I'm like, I'm going to take the heat because I'm a friend. She'll forgive me, but she needs to hear this. But luckily it didn't happen. God saved me from that one. Too much stress would have came out of that call.
Yeah.
And, but I'm still waiting a return. I'm waiting for the return.
Really? I don't
the
think
Grim Reaper. She's gonna show. No, she's gonna show back.
I don't think
She's gonna take her sweet ass time, and then eventually one day hit me up in like a long paragraph about everything she thinks about what happened. She's most likely gonna blame me for most of it. She's gonna take a little bit of responsibility, and that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna respond with, "Okay, no problem." How do you want your money paid back? Like, cause I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm too busy going forward to think about what happened backward.
Come on, guys. Come on.
If you guys have time to deal with past issues, you don't got a good future. If you guys are if you're busy chasing ghosts,
One more.
you got no real future. Let me tell you that. No real successful minded person ever clings on to the past.
Yeah.
Literally. I work with the president of Think and Grow Rich. He did an entire multi-city tour with the Think and Grow Rich Legacy movie. Bad movie, by the way. Don't watch it. Has nothing to do with Think and Grow Rich. It's just a lot of fluff. And I've studied Napoleon's work. Nothing. Doesn't show you anything. The Secret's better, and The Secret I think is crap.
Really?
I think The Secret is fluff. But it's like that.
No,
this is like feathers.
I know The Secret is fluff. It's just talking.
It's more practical than the Think and Grow Rich
Really?
movie. It's crazy. Yeah, it's bad. We stopped at halfway.
Did you guys watch it?
No, I was watching it with Daniel.
Sent it to me.
I was watching it with Daniel and
Iman sent it to me.
I was watching it with Daniel and Andrew, and we stopped it halfway. We're like, it's bad. We're not gonna waste our time. Swear to God. So, but my point is, the guy who directed that. I don't want to name names. It's not like anyone in this. I don't know. Maybe one day this gets out, but that guy owes a lot of money to the president of Think and Grow Rich, my mentor. You know what he did to me? He called me one day. He's like, Armin knows me this much, a lot. Okay, it's above the 6 figures. And I'm like, what do you mean he didn't pay you? This guy's a multi-millionaire, right? Like owns like Ferraris in his garage. This is nothing to him, man. And he goes, yeah, he just keeps giving excuses to why he can't pay me and this, that. And he's like, I'll keep paying you later. And I'm like, he's never paid you, eh? He goes, no. He goes, I guess, what are you going to do? He goes, nothing. So what can I do? If a person's going to be a piece of shit, let him be a piece of shit. And I laughed. I'm like, you teach me every time, man. I see you handle this. Most people have a heart attack. They don't even make that much in 2 or 3 years combined.
100%.
This guy owes you that money, and you're out of your pocket tens of thousands of dollars traveling for him. And he was the one who approached him for this. I'm like, you're just going to let it go? He goes, Armin, this is not in my nature. It's not in my thinking. He goes, there's no point. He will get what he deserves. And I'll get what I deserve from moving on. I'll get rewarded for letting this go. That's a big one right there.
Yeah.
That's a cool.
He goes, I'll make more money
Yeah.
by letting go of this little debt he owes me. I'm like, wow. He goes, we're going to make so much money one day, he's going to wish he never did this to us. I would look at him, I'm like, that's so big, man. It's so thinking big, man. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
To this day, I don't think the guy's ever paid him. And these are losers. Like, these people, guys, stay away from these people. Let someone else save them. It's not your job. Save them. Like, Armin, but I'm the savior. Okay, have fun. Let me know if it works out with some of the losers you change. I'll send you my losers. Find me someone. I'll be in that business later on. When I don't need any money at all, ever, forever, for the rest of my life, I'll get into the business of helping losers become winners. Because that's the hardest business to be in. You got to go into business and teach people that are poor thinking, miserable, and negative-minded, fully charged, habit wired into their body of being this way, and tell them to change their life around. You know, that's the hardest thing you could ever do. Taking a person with utter conviction, full belief and confidence in their own stupidity and ignorance, and trying to tell them and make their eyes open. That's the hardest business to be in. I started my business doing that. It was really hard. I did pretty well, but I didn't even dent even a tiny millimeter of the actual size of the problem in this world.
Yeah.
Later on, I'll get into that. Right now, I'm not in that business. If you're in that business, let me know. If you're good at it, I'll send you my losers. People I know need life change. But if you're in the business, if you're in the market for scaling your coaching business, that's what I'm here for now. If you want to think bigger, hit that 100K month, that's what I'm here for now. One thing at a time. We'll focus.
Love it. Jordan said, we're the best team ever. Anyone who can't get along with this team has problems.
Yeah, they got problems. If you can't get along with our team, you really got a problem. We're like the last line of defense. Life is trying to give you. We're the last cure.
No, seriously.
We're the last vaccine here.
Seriously, we are so, like, this is not even just a toot our own horn. We are so, like...
You guys are crazy.
We're just, anyways, doesn't matter.
We're so nice. Like, I almost feel bad. Sometimes my team says, like, yes to everything. You might be like, oh, I need another 3-hour one-on-one with you. You might be like, sure, when are you free? 3 in the morning? Like, literally. Like, he's like that, you know? I'm on the phone. Like, we're like 3 hours over my coaching call. We're like an hour over my coaching call. And I'm still going to go like this. Do you have any other questions? And they'll be like, no, I'm good. Like, I literally, they're so easy to work with us. To the point where it's like, you know, you can take advantage of us. But if you do, just know I'm going to be calling you just like I called that guy once.
I love it.
Because I know when you're doing it. But most of our clients, none of our clients do that. My point is, like, you can't deal with us. You got a problem. It's in the mirror.
So this is kind of a piggyback of the question that you just, well, you answered it kind of like a roundabout way because we brought up that example, but
yeah.
We've got an extremely troubling client in my program. At every single turn, they have an issue with something. At first, I took it as constructive feedback because they're more advanced, because they're one of the most advanced clients I've had, but that credibility is turning me off now. Should I tell them to keep their comments to themselves?
That is all bogey. Okay, baloney. The client I'm telling you about that's disappeared for the last 3 months, same bullshit. I'm like, maybe she's giving me constructive feedback because she's one of the more advanced clients I've had. Exactly those words, eh? I'm like, maybe she's...
Really?
Yeah, I thought, I'm like, she's a higher level client. Higher level. Because she's been in business and coaching for a long time. She's done 6 figures before. She knows some things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to treat her as a beginner. So she would give me stuff back. Like, you got to be more organized here and organized there. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is good. It took months for me to realize, no, she just messed up. Like, that has nothing to do with me. And this is not constructive at all. This is just annoying now.
Yeah.
She's too busy correcting me and her business failing simultaneously to actually get coaching. It's like we have a part of our lesson video in module 1 for this. The paying for coaching but not accepting coaching mindset.
Yes.
Paying for coaching but not accepting coaching mindset.
Yep.
It's
That
like
was a good one.
how foolish is that? I paid you for coaching. Now only tell me what I want to hear.
With that lip quiver too. That's
Zoom in on me. Yeah. I paid you money. Only tell me things I want to hear. That's actually how I visualize them looking like on the coaching.
I know. Just Oh God. Yeah. Look at
Zoom
that.
in real close on me.
Oh. Ew.
And I just sit there. You know what I do with those clients? And look, some of my clients, I'm going to call this out. Some of my clients in my program is that right now. Not all of them. Some. Not many. But they only get on because they only want to hear what they want to hear. And if they don't hear what they want to hear, they're going to be so pissed. And it's like, usually what they want to hear is so wrong. And I got to tell them what's right. And I'm really good at delivering it. Like, I don't piss people off. I actually care about their feelings. But we know what I've done with them. If you want one little hack of how to deal with clients like this, let them fail. Best way to teach them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you think that's a good idea? Because I know if I try to tell them it's not a good idea, they're gonna be like, no, screw this. And even if they pretend like they listen to me, like, yeah, you're right, they'll go off and do their own thing, come back and be like, well, I just didn't agree with your thing, and then they'll blame you for contradicting what they wanted to hear, their confirmation, their bias that they wanted you to confirm. So I just go, okay, cool, try it out. And they go try it out. You know what happens? I actually had this recently. Client gets on call. And they're like emotional, because they didn't make any sales. They're doing all the wrong things. They're not getting results. I'm like, okay, don't worry about it. Relax, don't worry about it. I'm like, what happened? Well, this. I'm like, okay. Well, you open for coaching? I have to ask permission with these people. So you open to... No, I am. Okay, great. So this is what you should not do. This is what you should do. Now they go, oh, I see. Okay. See, I was doing that wrong. But you can't give them that before they think they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
See, if I told them before, they'd be like, no, I feel great about this. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm like, okay. I used to fight them.
Yeah.
I used to think that because they paid me money, my job is to control the entire experience and do only what I'm saying out of the fear of them not getting results. So I'm like, I have to deliver. So they have to listen to what I'm saying. If they disobey what I'm saying, then we're going to risk this not working.
This is key as a coach, friends. Are you listening?
You guys are too scared of not producing results. So therefore, you're trying to control everything.
Yeah.
Well, you got to realize 80% of the experience of the investment feeling good is their experience.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to control and butcher their experience just for the cost of getting them result. You might get more results because you literally force people to listen to you in your coaching. But you get a lot of bad clients at the end. You'll get people that don't like you and people that don't talk good about you. Do you want your legacy, your reputation to be, I got good results, but it's just really hard to work with. It worked. Because they want to tell you, I hated it. But they won't. Because it got some results. So I try to balance both. And what I do is, those clients, I let them know. I go, look, it's going to take you longer. Because you only want to listen to what you want to listen to. That's fine. I tell them this. It's fine. But just understand, it's going to take longer to get the result. Because I need you to go out and make your mistake so you understand that's not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
They'll just look at me. I've had clients look at me like, I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
They're actually, grateful. Thank you. Most people would just... oppose what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being understanding. Wow, this is amazing. They actually changed their life because of that. Because I did the right thing in the right order. You guys do the right thing in the wrong order. You're telling them what to do, but before they learned, they're wrong.
Yeah.
They have to learn first. And what if you're wrong? Sometimes I'm like, nice. Right? I learned something new now.
Yeah.
I'll put it in my program.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So far, all the time. I'm right, but I gotta. It's funny because Daniel's in our program. He's by the way, he's out 24 grand now at the month. He closed 5Ks.
Go Daniel.
He's closing high tickets. He's on a roll right now. And you know what's funny? I was talking to him the other day. He goes, man, I just feel like I'm going to do a 60K month this month. I'm like, yeah, you will. It's only 10 clients. Let's rock and roll, right? And he goes, man, I'm just focused, and I'm like, you know what's funny, man? You're doing exactly what I told you to do 4 months ago. But now you're actually listening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take credit for him. I'm like, you raised your price. You're only focused on the right KPIs in your business, and you're doing nothing else. You're focused. I'm like, you're making money now. He goes, yeah, and I feel like back then I was more focused on fame and reputation and brand. So he ran a whole summit. He tried to grow his group to get fame and do podcasts. And I'm like, bro, none of this is gonna make you money. Stop it. He's like, no, the summon's gonna make us money. I'm like,
True
yeah,
story.
a little bit of money.
True story.
Remember those calls?
Yeah, 100%.
Every time I'd be like, what do you
He's
think
like,
about?
if you want to.
I'm like, do it.
If you think.
Go ahead. I'm like, you could have been making this money back in January instead of now May.
Yeah.
But you lost all this money, this opportunity cost. But I'm like, maybe you had to go through that. He goes, no, I did. I really had to get over that. So now I understand that this is the only thing that matters. I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, look, I did the right thing in the right order. If I tried to force him back then, he would have just created friction with me and left. But I don't want to listen to Armin because he's not saying what I want to hear.
Yep.
But then he wouldn't have got this month where he's already at 20K USD in sales, 24K Canadian within,
A week.
10 days into
10
the
days.
month. 10 days. Yeah, he hit 15K of that in like the first 3 days. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So being a coach is not just about getting your clients to do what you say. It's not just about them following your protocol. Mm-hmm. It's a balance between that and also understanding where they're engaging, how to deliver it to them. Delivery matters just as much as content. Context matters just as much. Yeah. Some of you guys disregard context. I've been in programs where people are like, I don't care how you feel. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. And I'm like, okay, but if I feel like shit getting off this call, you're making it harder for me to do what you said.
Definitely.
Even if I do it.
Yep.
Which means that my attitude's wrong. Now I go into it and I get bad results.
Yeah.
So you're really actually hurting me, even though you're telling me the right things.
Exactly.
Just because you don't know how to say it. Right?
Yep.
Like I could be in a relationship and I could be like, I love you. Like, I love you with all my heart. And they'll be like, I feel you. I could be like, yeah, I love you with all my heart. They'll be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Literally context makes a difference of what the person feels. And what the person feels is actually what matters. What the result of your communication is matters more of your communication. Clients don't feel inspired after talking to you. You're a bad coach. End of story. Yeah. I think you're a bad coach. Can't inspire your own clients? The hell are you doing there? Giving them information? You should have just sold them a pamphlet then. Isn't the point of coaching to bring out their inspiration, bring something great out of them?
Yeah.
Well, you do that from delivery, not from content. I was about to say the B word.
Sometimes the...
Not that B word.
What B word?
Our B word.
Ah. That's funny.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do. I definitely get what you're saying.
You got to let them make the mistakes. What question was this, by the way? Because I know I went off track.
So the extremely troubling client, constructive feedback because of credit.
It's not constructive feedback.
Should I tell them to keep their
They're
comments to
problem
themselves?
seekers. They're fault finders. You know why they're called fault finders? Because they fault find. Don't try to change that. Don't try to dig into the mystery of why you call them problem clients. That's what they are.
Yeah.
Let them be. Don't choose them next time. Get rid of them now. Hey, don't want to work with you anymore.
It's not working out.
It's funny. I was coaching one of my elite clients. He goes, I'm in a commitment right now with the client, and they just keep asking for more and more and more and more, and I'm not charging anything. It's like it's just becoming exhausting. I'm like, why don't you just tell them no? He goes, yeah, I think I'm going to. I'm like, I don't understand why you didn't do it earlier.
Yeah.
You're losing more money trying to keep up. It's just your fear, man. You guys have fear of criticism, man. You fear what they will think of you if you say something.
Yeah.
That's such a costly fear to have.
Mm-hmm.
What an expensive thing to care about. Someone else's opinion. That's probably one of the most expensive things you could ever care about.
Absolutely.
Someone else's opinion of you. Literally shackles you, puts you in a box, doesn't let you actually do what you have to do or say what you want to say.
Yeah.
Just because, what would they think of me? Doesn't mean be a bad person at delivering it.
Yeah.
Be good, but I don't care how you respond. That guy that I talked to that swore at you, he could also turn around like, you're a piece of crap, and I'm like, nice. I got what I need to say to you.
Yeah.
Have a nice life. Like,
Yeah.
bye. Doesn't scare me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Let's go. Well, we don't have more questions. Well, I mean...
Oh, it's
we don't have
1:15.
Yeah.
Time has gone by really quickly.
Has it been 1 hour?
Yeah, technically.
I
since
am
we started.
bursting to go to the washroom, so...
Oh, are you? Okay.
We gotta end it off here right now, guys. We love you so much. This has been a really powerful episode, bringing on the great questions. Any comments we gotta acknowledge real quick?
Jordan just said that is huge, and Lauren put some fire.
Huge. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell if you want to get notified every time we drop really epic videos like this. And subscribe to our channel. If you do, you'll grow wings like an angel.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you're in the high-ticket coaching community, then make sure you hit that like, care, love, something button. Everything but the laughing one. The laughing one's good too.
Or the anger. We don't want the anger either.
We don't want anger here. Comment down below what's your number one takeaway of the show this week and your number one goal for this week. Don't forget that. What's you're most excited about this week in your business.
Yeah.
We love you so much. If you want your questions answered on the show live, go to AskArmin.com and join us every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see you next week. Go on and make the rest of your week the best of your week.